Hello my friends, it's Jen Bach with Craft What Matters. Welcome back to our next video in the new catalog reveal. Today is all about the in colors, and I was hoping to have some new samples to share with you today, but I have a lot of crafting math to do with you. And it's been a really long day, so I didn't get a chance to actually design anything new, but I still have some samples to remind you of the in colors. But we're going to kind of go through in color club because that's going to happen. So, and actually I think it might happen sooner than I initially thought. So we had planned to do a craft along again. I did it a couple months ago with 4 of my Stampy friends, and we were going to do it again at the end of June, but because of scheduling stuff, we're going to have to move it, I think, to sometime in July, which means that registration window needs to be moved. So I'm going to put In Color Club in that registration window. So hopefully starting next week, I'll have all of the landing pages up for In Color Club. So it actually kind of coincides nicely too. So let's go ahead and look at the in colors, and then I'll explain to you how In Color Club will work. There has been some price increases just because the new ink pads are more expensive. I think the refills went up in price, the cardstock went up in price, so it is a little bit different, but I have 3 options for you in terms of pricing. So let's go ahead and take a look. So here we go. Let's take a look at the colors first. So we have Peaceful Pine, which is a nice, pretty green. Let's actually, I didn't really pull all of them, but let's just, for fun, let's pull a couple colors. So for color variation, this is Old Olive and Mossy Meadow compared to Peaceful Pine. It's a nice traditional green. I think it's going to be really fun for holiday kind of stuff. Then we have Crisp Cantaloupe. This is actually a returning color. This was an in color several years back. I think it was when, I'm trying to think, when Coastal Cabana maybe came out, I think. So just for reference, this is Crisp Cantaloupe. This is Petal Pink. This is Flirty Flamingo. And then you have Calypso Coral. So you can see it's more of a like peachy pink, but it's always hard to tell too with the camera, but it's very pretty. Then we have Golden Glow, and let me pull a couple yellows. Here we have Crushed Curry and Golden Glow, Lemon Lolly and Golden Glow, definitely Golden Glow, and then the Daffodil. So definitely more of a brown yellow, but it is a yellow. Okay, then we have, let me move these out of the way. Then we have, and it's hard to tell with my lighting in here too. This is called Barely Blush, and again, let's look at it with Petal Pink. So, and then I'll show you with Bubble Bath. So not quite the baby pink that Bubble Bath is, but more pink than purple. So this has a little purple hint to it. So just really fun color. I think it's going to be a good neutral color. And then probably one of my favorites is this Hydrangea hue. It's kind of a purpley blue. It's very, very pretty. Let me show you here. So there's Balmy Blue. So you can see it's very much a purpley blue. And I'll actually show you it with a purple. So that's Highland Heather. So you can see that purple in there. And I think that's probably the closest colors. Maybe let's look at Cloud Cover with it. So then you can see Cloud Cover too. So definitely a purpley blue, but it's really, really pretty. And I think it's going to be my favorite. So Hydrangea Hue, Barely Blush, Golden Glow, Crisp Cantaloupe, and Peaceful Pine. Those are your new in colors. What do you think? What's your favorite? So just to kind of show you, we do have a pretty bordered ribbon in each of the 5 colors. So there's more color like combining there. I love the coordination. And there's blends in all 5 of the colors and the green here, right? So that's that. And then I think the greatest part, oh, well, here, let me show you these two. We also have in-color dots in all of the colors and the pretty butterflies in all of the colors. And then there's some pearlized paper, which comes 12 by 12. This is just the Peaceful Pine. You get a sheet, a 1 12 by 12 sheet of each of the colors if you buy that pearlized paper. And then we, of course, have the pattern paper pack, which I will show you a little bit sneak peek here, and then I'll actually show more of it probably tomorrow in our patterned paper showcase tomorrow. So let's take a look at the most exciting part of the new ink colors, and that is the new magnetic ink pads. Check this out, guys. They're magnetic. They're amazing. So exciting. They do fit in our storage. They just stick out a little bit more. They may be coming up with new storage next year. It's an iffy. They said something about it just because now our Stampin' Write markers are retired and those fit in this old style one. And of course now those ink pads don't quite fit as well. So perhaps we'll see some new stuff there. But let me show you the ink pads a little more closely. So this is the Peaceful Pine. They are completely magnetic. If you're familiar with the Close to My Heart ink pads, they are the same now. That patent was bought by Stampin' Up! When the acquisition kind of occurred. So they lay on your desk. You can have them separate, but they kind of cling together, which is nice. You have this well, so you can create an ink well that you can use as for your blending pens, your aqua painters, all that kind of stuff. And then of course you can just wipe it out. This is a felt-based ink pad versus our old foam-based. You may even be able to see the difference here. I can see it in person. You might not be able to see it in the camera. But this is a very flat, kind of dry looking ink pad. This is a more squishy, foamy ink pad. And that will translate when you're stamping. So if you remember our older style ink pads, they were felt based just like this. And you had to kind of walk your stamp along the ink pad in order to fully get that inked up. So I actually don't think I even have any ink or any stamps near me. So maybe tomorrow I will stamp with these just so you can kind of see that. The other thing that's really cool is we've got the colors and you've got two in English. So let me show you where I'm putting my inks are all dirty already and I don't like it. Let me show you where I'm putting my labels. So you imagine this is going to be open on your table like this, right? So, whoops, I'm going to put one here because I can only imagine with a bunch of ink pads open, right? You're going to want to know, because you can't really tell from color to color what color it is. So I'm going to go ahead, whoops, totally off center. Let me try that again. Oops, I just stuck my finger in the ink. That's not going to help me for keeping it clean. All right. So there we have that. And so now if this is open on my table, let me just show you. So for instance, this is the pink. It's a little bit kind of clear that this is pink, but if you have a couple more pinks open or you have other light ink pads, you might be able to not be able to tell the difference. So I have one there. Now, so when the ink pad is closed, we obviously can see this here. And when it's open, we can see that here. So, but now this cover, I mean, it's got this on there still right now. But when that's gone, how do I know what this is, right? So I'm going to take the other one and I'm going to put it on the front, kind of like we did with the old style ones. So this, imagine this being tucked into a shelf. Now I can read this here to know what ink it is without having to like pull everyone out. Getting this straight is always tricky. Here we go. And it's still off center. That's gonna bug me. Let me move it over a little bit. There we go. That should be better, hopefully. And there you have it. So now we have Peaceful Pine here, we have Peaceful Pine here, Peaceful Pine inside. And then this will come off and it actually does still say Peaceful Pine on the bottom too. And there you have it. So really fun. These are more expensive. These are $14 an ink pad before tax and shipping, versus the old ones were 9. Right now, these 5 colors are the only ones that are going to be available in this magnetic style. Coming next year, I believe we're going to have a color refresh, so they will kind of go through our core collection of colors and kind of switch some around a little bit. And then they may also, they are going to transition to all of the magnetic pads. Of course, they're going to work the same. The colors, they're not changing the color formulation. If the color stays into the new color refresh, then you can keep your old pads, like they're fine. This is just something you can kind of work towards in the future, is to have all of those in the magnetic form. But these 5 are the only ones that are available right now in this style. I will tell you how to get those 5 for free in a second. So let's look at some samples showing off the in colors. This was from yesterday. This is that Barely Blush is this background color. And then this here is your Peaceful Pine. And then you have Hydrangea Hue here. Very purpley. I actually put a little Wink of Stella in there as well. And then we have Crisp Cantaloupe there. So I kind of used all the in colors on that one except for Golden Glow. And then this one has the Hydrangea Hue as the background and this color here. This is the Peaceful Pine here, the leaves. So that has a couple of them. Oh, and I used the Barely Blush as the negative coloring element there. And then this one is the Peaceful Pine here. And then that Velvet on the leaves and the strip there are both Peaceful Pine. So, and obviously in the background on the paper as well. So we've used Peaceful Pine a couple of times this week. So now let me show you, if I'm going to do in Color Club this month, and I'm going to start with the high end. So if you want the I Want It All package, right? We're going to get, each month will be the ink pad and the refill, a full package of the cardstock. So you'll get this, right? You'll get the matching coordinated ribbon. And the way I do mine is each month you'll get a different color. So you get all the elements in that one color. So if Peaceful Pine was your first color, this is all the things you'd get. You'd get the Stampin' Blends markers. You'd also get, which I don't have, the Peaceful Pine's Shimmer Brush. So there's a Shimmer Brush, kind of like Wink of Stella with color, a little bit more fancy. You'd get that with every month as well. So the Shimmer Brush and the Stampin' Blends. And then you would get 4 pieces of the Pearlized paper. So for this month, it would be the 4 pieces of 6x6 Pearlized paper. And then you would get, so this is the wrong color green, just pretend it's Peaceful Pine. This is not it. But you would get these 8 pieces of the pattern paper. So this pattern paper this year is actually 12 by 12. So I will be cutting it down for shipping purposes, but basically it's 4 patterns and you're going to get 4 sheets of each pattern. So front is the same and then back, right? So you're going to get, there's only 2 different pieces of paper with a front and back, so 4 different patterns. You'll get 8 pieces of that in the coordinating color every month. And then for the Basics Plus, so this is like the I Want It All. In addition to this, you'll also get the In Color dots. And then at the end of the In Color Club, you'll get these butterflies as well. So that's the Basics Plus. That's going to be $95 a month for 5 months. And then you'll have your whole collection. Okay, that's the Basics Plus. Now, if you want to just do the basics and save a little bit of money there, the basics will be the full pack of cardstock, ink pad, ink refill, ribbon, and the Stampin' Blends. And then you'll also get the In Color dots in both cases. So in the Basics Plus, this ink, these dots and these butterflies are free to you. I actually don't charge, that's not even included in the cost of those monthly fees. And then this one is also free. So the In Color dots will come with the Basics kit as well. And with both the Basics Plus and the Basics kit, you'll also get a hand-stamped card in the color of that month and a little color coach card, which will give you some color combination ideas for each of those colors. And then this one is $75 a month. So here's the catch, you guys. So it's a little tricky for me to run in Color Club because here's the Basics Plus. So that's the all, $95. The Basics is here for $75. So if you grab this, it ends up being $475 split over 5 months for the $95. If you do the Basics, it's $375, $75 a month over the 5-month period. The part that makes it tricky, and this is part of the reason why I was going to push it back, but I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it now because I can actually potentially save you a lot of money, and I love to do that. So right now, for the month of May, new demonstrators can actually order the starter kit and get all 5 of these ink pads for free. So all 5 of them. It's a $60 value just right there, right? So if you were to purchase the starter kit, you'd get those 5 stamp sets plus $125 worth of product of your choice. And then once you're official, you could actually then order all of the stuff I've shown you. Everything, the 5 ink pads, or not the ink pads, because you already have those. The 5 blends, the 5 shimmer brushes, the 5 cardstock packs, the 5 ink refills, the 5 ribbons, both packages of this, the new color pack of paper, the Pearlized specialty paper, all of that for about $275. So it's like a $200 savings from the big one and $100 savings from this. And the reason why is because you will get those ink pads for free. So those are no longer part of the calculation. And then also you get a 20% discount on everything you buy. And if you decided to put some of the in color stuff in your starter kit, that would reduce that cost even more. So it's an amazing value, and while it may hurt me a little bit to kind of promote that, I want what's best for you, and so the best value is actually this starter kit. Otherwise, you know, the rest of these are actually just, the reason why they're a little bit more too is because, 1, there's no discount because that's retail, right? And 2, there's also shipping worked in for me to ship to you, so that makes the cost a little bit higher too. So that's what I have for you. So In Color Club will be opening next month. If you like to be able to buy everything on a budget, that's a great way to do it. And I told you there's 2 different ways. We can do the 75, which is just kind of your basic stuff, what's pictured here, right? Or we can do the Basics Plus, which has all the goodies, including, you know, the shimmer brush, the pattern paper, the pearlized paper, and the extra bling. But that's up to you. So 75 for the smaller one, 95 for the bigger one, and of course, you can always do the starter kit through the end of May and get the best deal available. So if you have questions, go ahead, pop them below, or just shoot me an email at hello@craftwhatmatters.com and we can chat it out and see what's best for you. But I think these new colors are going to be amazing, and I know you're going to love these new magnetic pads. So if you have any questions, go ahead and pop them below, and I will be back tomorrow with some more crafting for you. So I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.